What's up everybody, it's the Fire Specialist here, and welcome to more Pokemon Crystal. Last time, we got here to Goldenrod City. Did a little bit of exploration around the town, seeing what the sights have for us. Scouts us another egg, and it has some Pyrogue, who is now resting in the PC. But we do have our other new team member, Kadabra, newly evolved from the Aber we got. And today, we're going to do a bit more training before we take on the infamous Goldenrod City Pokemon Gym. And that starts off with us going north and talking to this guy right here. Excuse me kid, can you do a guy a favor? Can you take this Pokemon and mail it to my friend? He's on Route 31. Sure, you will? Perfect, thanks kid. My pal's a chubby guy who snoozes all the time. You'll recognize him right away. Now, he's on Route 31. The rear tree blocking the path, so we can't do anything about it right now, but this is actually a pretty good Pokemon, actually. Our nickname is Kenya, holding the mill, but you can remove, by the way. We'll go ahead and take the mill, goes to PC. So now we can actually put it in the PC if we want, but this is Spearow. This is why you shouldn't capture a Spearow early on. This is a gift Pokemon that will gain boosted experience points. It evolves at level 20 into Pharaoh, and is one of the better flying types between that one and Dodrio. It's better than the new flyer of Noctowl, and it's just a good Pokemon, being able to learn Peck and have good attack and be fully evolved by 20. So put her on the team for now as we go on here to Route 35. Now there are definitely quite some trainers here, and a couple of TMs that we want to get our hands on actually. We will do some battling in the process as well. I do believe though, you have a Vulpix. We'll go ahead and have, I don't think we didn't do a debut battle for Kadabra, did we? Last episode was Abra's debut battle, and this episode is Kadabra's debut battle. Picnicker Kim with the Vulpix. And we'll fit teams. Now, funny enough, we do have Stab now in Confusion. Being a 50 power psychic type attack with a chance to cause confusion, of course. But funny enough though, just in case I didn't say it, the elemental punches, Fire, Ice, and Thunder Punch, they are 75 base power. Which means confusion with Stab actually equals the base power of the elemental punches. So we effectively have 75 base power moves across the board here. And our Psychic type moves won't be the strongest option until we get Side Beam at a later time. Look at Kadabra, do you have Serene Grace? Your very first attack, Ice Punch, was a freeze. Your very first Stab attack confuses the opponent, now they're going for Quick Attack. And there we go. They actually landed that one. But Kadabra, can you imagine Alakazam with Serene Grace? I mean, it gets Tri Attack in Generation 1. There we go. I couldn't win. Let's see though. We'll do some of these battles off screen as well. I know there's a guy up here though I would love to go ahead and take on. Because, as I mentioned in Pokemon Yellow, I didn't play Red and Blue growing up. I had Yellow and then went to Gold. Yes, I did start with Generation 1. Generation 1 was the current gen when I started. I am a Gen 1 baby. But I'm not a Gen 1er though. Say that right now. But Generation 1's Yellow version didn't have Magmar. So there's a trainer up here that you will find very, very interesting. Kadabra trying to disable. This is an interesting move that you can actually disable your opponent's most recent move. It is a little bit on the inaccurate side, I do believe, kind of like Captain Weaknesses. But honestly, it's better than Teleport. I mean, this is way pre-teleport buff. And we can teleport straight to the last Pokemon Center we were at, but we'll just cut out that type of travel anyway. So, we'll get rid of Teleport. We're not in a Nuzlocke, so we're not too worried about Poison and having to teleport to save our steps. We'll get Disable. And Zubat, that's easy. We have 3 moves that can beat you. Confusion, Ice Punch, and Thunder Punch. This is just not your day. And the Diglett, I forgot you had 3 Pokemon. 3 Digletts and like 2 routes around here. I actually don't know where you would capture Diglett in this game. I guess, some of the Gen 1 Pokemon, they put in interesting spots. But this guy right up here, I unfortunately will not be using my Bayleaf for it. Well, we're going to use our Sand Shrew here. This guy. I'm practicing my fire breathing. He's got 2 Pokemon. And this is the guy that finally let me see my favorite Gen 1 Pokemon in-game for the first time in my life. Walt sends out Magmar, the Spitfire Pokemon. In Pokemon Gold and Silver, you can actually get Magmar about halfway through the game. And I think it might be the same in Heart Gold Soul Silver. Unfortunately though, kind of like with Mareep in Crystal, compared to Gold and Silver, they kind of changed Magmar for the worse. They did make it catchable still, but unfortunately it's in the end of the game. I believe it's in Mount Silver. Which for a Pokemon as epic as Magmar, kind of makes sense. But unfortunately though, if you want to use Magmar, you kind of have to save Scum for that Magby. Let's go for the Swift. Oh yeah, Fire Punch. GG, Sandrew. Well, I was kind of hoping we could live a move, but I guess not. I'll go for Dunsparce. Gonna have to go back and heal, but that's okay. Yes, we can use a Revive, but I don't really want to waste a Revive. Did not realize level 13 Magmar has Fire Punch. I would have Ember. But there we go. You never thought you'd see a Dunsparce take down a Magmar, right? Ow, a scorched the tip of my nose. You know what they should introduce? Fire breathers that are dressed in blue and have blue fire, and give them a shiny fire type that is blue. This guy though, oh, that guy up there, by the way, I can only fight him at nighttime. He is the second of, I believe, only 2 officers in the game. But this guy though will be an easy one for our Sand Shrew, and unfortunately we don't have a ground type move yet. But he has 4 Pokemon though, and they're all balls. Yeah, Voltorb ranges from level 2 to I believe level 14. There we go, and a critical hit to boot. And now Sandshrew is level 18. Not bad. We are 4 levels away from evolving. That's one of those levels you just kind of memorize. Kind of like how La Vesta evolves at 59. Dewey has Repel. By chance, we have 1 left. We do have 1 left. Good. Unfortunately, the next 2 people in the route here, Bayleaf still isn't that good against. So, I guess we'll use our Dunsparce. Because this person over here is somebody of interest. I'll go anywhere if Bug Pokemon appear there. You got 1 Pokemon? Yeah, Bugcatcher Oni has Venonat. Level 15! Pretty good level actually. Now I'll get some experience here with that Stab Headbutt. Headbutt being 70 base power and Stab technically makes a 105 base power move. Just Foresight. Keep your ghost away from Venonat, even though technically speaking Venonat can learn Confusion, I believe. So, I mean, you shouldn't need to use Foresight Tackle to beat it. But after defeating Oni though... Oh, Mama's calling! Hi Fire, how are you? I found a useful item of shopping, so I bought it with the money. Sorry, it's in your PC. You'll like it. Don't know why we are Italian now, but now, before you get a phone call from your mom, you want to talk to Oni again. My Venonat won me the bug catching contest at National Park. You get that feeling that there are more rare Pokemon around? I'm positive there are. I look all the time. If I find one, I want to share the good news with everyone I know. Give me a phone number. Yeah, this is the third and I believe the final Pokemon that will tell you about Swarm. The Pokemon in question for this one is Yanma. It's not good. It's like Dunsparce, you can get it right now at a 1% chance in this route. But if you saw my video about the top 5 worst Pokemon in Pokemon Coliseum, Generation Debut Yanma is probably just as bad. It learns Wing Attack, at least I think it does in this game, and it doesn't really learn that many good Bug-type moves, unless maybe Leech Life, according to Egg moves. It gets Sonic Boom, and Detect, which is a lower PP version of Protect, and Quick Attack. But it doesn't even evolve in this game. It's not good, it's Bug and Flying. So many better options. You could use Pidgeotto and be better off. So I don't recommend it, at least not for this game. But right here we get TM04. I love the placement of this TM, which we'll get into that next episode. But you guys will probably know what I mean when you guys see it. It's Rollout. Yeah, the infamous Rollout. Now, we could teach this to our Dunsparce, but I kind of like our Dunsparce's moveset the way it is. I have other plans for Dunsparce, hopefully. But Sandshrew here could absolutely use a Rock-type attack. And now, as we all know, Flying is immune to ground, or weak to rock. So the coverage of ground and rock is almost similar to electric and ice. So we will go ahead and get Rollout. And I guess we will forget Scratch. We have Swift, so we don't really need it. Now, the other thing about that, though, is that Defense Core, well, spoilers, Rollout, though, has another hidden mechanic behind it. We'll use it right now, actually. Use our Sandshrew here. Talking to this guy. What kinds of balls do you use? Yeah, so Rollout has a hidden mechanic that you can actually, I think, find out about in Pokemon Stadium 2, and it might be said similar in this game, I'm not sure. But, if you use the move Defense Coil before Rollout, Rollout's power is doubled from the start. Rollout is already a move that does 30 base power and doubles consecutively for up to 5 times, and it locks you in by the rest, not like Fairy Cutter. It locks you in automatically, so if we use Rollout, we're stuck until all 5 hit, or we miss, or we faint, or the battle ends. So even though we don't really need to use Defense Core right now, but if you use Defense Core, Rollout will be doubled from the get-go. So there's one right there. Honestly, I was kind of nervous they would go for like Sand Attack. So I didn't want to. Really? Sandshrew. Sandshrew, get the sand out of your eyes. Let's roll out once again. This is a 30 power rollout. It is 90 accuracy, so every hit is 90 accuracy, which means every hit can miss 10% of the time. And next up is, of course, Pidgeotto. This guy is basically Timu Faulkner, except stronger. Go for a tackle. We'll go for the second rollout. This is a 60 power rollout, which means the third one is 120, the fourth one is 240, and the fifth and final one is 480. Which means if you use Defense Core beforehand, that fifth rollout is 960 base power. There's not much that will be able to survive that. Alright, let's head back in here now. Not back in here. This place though, on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and I believe Saturdays, which it's Friday, so Pokemon Day. Good God, I got some thoughts about Bonbon. Or Bonbon, yeah, there we go, Bonbon. I absolutely love it, by the way. Good thoughts, good thoughts. Cutest doggo ever. This guy, though, will be standing over here. You can do the bug catching contest. We can't do it today, but we will show it off another day. We'll probably put it off, that's okay. There are certain Pokemon you can get only from doing the bug catching contest. Pay attention, please. Kind of like what Clefairy says. Clefairy! Fairy! You talk to her, though. She'll give you the Quick Claw. A cursed item in the Pokemon Maryland universe. But sometimes they will let you strike first. In this game, there is no sign of it activating. You'll just attack first. But we will take on these people off screen probably after the next gym battle because we don't know. And I'm trying to think. I want to do it now. There is one trainer over here I would like to go ahead and take on. But first of all, this might confuse a lot of players going up. There's a whole other fence right here. You can go over here and grab a couple of items. Like this Parley's Hill. And then you come over here, there's one or two more items. One of them, you guys will see why we didn't waste how much that TM on Sandshrew when it gives to our hilarious little done spots. But it is right here. TM28. This is the TM for Dig. It's a 60 power ground type move that takes 2 turns to hit. When you use it though, you're underneath the ground, you can't be hit by anything except earthquake and magnitude. Why am I going down there? That's not the TM pocket. There we go, Dig. Yeah, first turn burrow, second turn attack. It's a classic move. Yes though, I said 60 power. It was nerfed in Generation 1. Generation 1, it was a 100 power 2-turn move. Equal on par to Earthquake. Here though, they did nerf it to be weaker than Earthquake, so it is a good middle of the journey attack. And yes, you see that right. Kadabra can use Dig. There's a rental Kadabra, and I believe Stadium 1 that knows Dig. Don't teach it to Kadabra, obviously teach it to your ground type, because this is still early move sets. Sandshrew doesn't learn any ground moves by level up. Except for, I think, Sand Attack. But I mean, of course they'll use Sand Attack. It's Sandshrew. We will, honestly, Poison Sting is 15 base power. It's not Stab. Yes, it can poison. But I mean, we have Poison Powder on Bayleaf. I believe so still. And Poison Sting, when it's super effective on the only type it can be super effective against is Grass. Makes it a 30 power. Swift is 60. So we don't need Poison Sting. I don't think we ever used it, but we don't need it. So we'll get rid of Poison Sting, and now Sandshrew is getting good. It has Dig, it has Rollout. Just in case you didn't know, if you come down here to move, you can order your Pokemon text and take a look at their move power. You could not do this in Generation 1, which meant a lot of trial and error when it came to learning what moves are powerful. But we can of course switch around our Pokemon tags here. Put Dig up front, and we'll put Swift right here. Even I guess Rollout and Defense Score together would be good, but I mean, yeah, it's okay. I used to do like either stab moves or the power from greatest to least. But I'll take that though, any single day of the week. And you get a free full heal over here. Now, with Sandshrew's Dig, there is one trainer I would like to go ahead and take on real quick over here. We'll do the rest of them off screen. I think it's you, right? We adore our Pokemon, even if they dislike us. That's what being a fan is about. He's got one Pokemon. And it might shock you. William sends out Raichu. Yeah, this is a good source of a bit of experience. If you have a grass type or ground type, go ahead and use it. Or try out our new Dig. We're not even fully healed. We'll use our Dig attack. It's 60 power. Stab makes it 90. Super effective makes it a 180 base power move on this Raichu. With pretty low defense, and there you go. You're not a Raichu, Mega Raichu X, with your possible levitate ability. Sandshrew that will get to level 19. And there we go. We'll take on the rest of them off screen, but I do want to show you guys what's up ahead. Because, like all Pokemon games, there are blockades. Whether it's a Snorlax, a couple of guys singing for no reason, and remove for no reason. But, if you want to level up a normal type, this guy's really good, actually. I'm going to read your thoughts. This way, though, is how you can connect back to Violet City, by the way. Whenever you do get it cleared, which you guys will see here in a minute. This guy has 3 Pokemon, though, is Abra, which knows Flash, by the way. And he has a second Abra, which, let me guess, does it know Flash too? Yeah, he's got the Sabrina Abras. They know Flash and Teleport. I guess that was just how they did in Generation 1. Even though if you just travel the Goldenrod, you could get the elemental punches. Level 19 Dunsparce. And Kadabra, under-leveled, I might add, level 15. Taking a page out of, I don't know his name. It might be Hamish from X and Y. There's a guy on that route. After you beat the professor, he has a Kadabra. I want to say that's level 14, maybe. Alright, but one last person right here. You'll definitely want to take on this guy as well. We'll go for Kadabra, because I know you have a pretty physical Pokemon. Thanks to my studies, I'm ready for any Pokemon. Schoolboy Allen is another important trainer. One of the other few people you want to go ahead and make sure you battle. He is the second one I'm going to talk about in this light. Level 16 Tangela, though. Go for the Ice Punch with 150 base power. Special, there you go. Just like that, Kadabra outspeed and sweep. I wanted to showcase off the power of Gen 2 Psychic types, even though Generation 1 we showed off with Starmie. Talk to Alan again. Darn, I studied 5 hours a day too. That's more than what I would do. There's more than just learning and reading books. Reading textbooks is worthwhile every so often. When I'm reading and walking, I have to look down. So I notice the items on the ground. He rhymes, he got balls. Next time I find something, I'll give it to you. May I have your phone number? Yes, you may. Alan, when he calls you for items, will give you a Firestone. You already have access to Growlithe. At this point, wait around for him to call you, and you can have an Arcanine by, 3 badges. This thing right here, I think we saw it once already. Shake, shake, shake. Talk to this girl right here. I'm the flower shop's Floria. Listen, listen. When I sprinkle water on that wiggly tree, it jumped right up. It just has to be a Pokemon. I bet it would be shocked out of its disguise if you soaked it. I know, I'll tell my sis and borrow her water bottle. Yeah, so you'll want to go ahead and trigger this before you really come over here and need to be over here. But with that though, hello Alan. We're gonna cut the episode there. Next time on Pokemon Crystal. I say we're done on training. We got Pokemon buffed up some, new moves and all. Evolutions of that in past episode 2. I say it's time to take on the Goldenrod Gym. See you guys then.